Welcome to Just Puzzling with Chris. Today we're going to do a Killer Sudoku at the expert level. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's put the 6 in there first and do the easy one. We can see here that up this side we've got cages, and we've got a spare cage there, right? So that's not in there. So as you know, 1 to 9 has to be in this column, and 1 to 9 added together, 1 plus 2 plus 3, etc., adds up to 45. So 11 plus 4 is 15, plus 11 is 26, plus 10 is 36. So to get to from 36 to 45 is 9. It's a 16 cage, so 9 plus 7 is 16. Alright, so we've done that. We can also see that there is a spare cage here, 24, plus 7 is 31, plus 11 is 42, so that's a 3 and that's a 1. Okay, we know that that's going to be 8 and 9. So because 17 is the only two numbers that are going to add up to 8 and 9, we know that if that's a cage on its own is an 8, so that's not too bad. How else are we going? Okay, so we'll know that this is 2 and 4, 8 and 9. So if this is 2 and 4, and this is 8 and 9, this is going to be 5 and 6, this is going to be 3 and 7. 8 can be there, so 5 and 6, 4 and 7, 2 and 8. Actually, there's a spare cage there. So 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 16 is 31, plus 10 is 41, that's a 4. So 8 and 2, 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 1, or a combination of. Okay, so we know that that's 1 and 3, because that 4 plus 1 plus 3 equals 8, and it can't be 2 and 2. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So we've got 3, 4, plus 12 is 16, plus 12 is 28. So this is actually 17 to take it up to 45. So because 9 can't have a 9 in it, that's an 8, and that's a 9, that's a 1. Okay, so because of that, because this is only a 1 and 3, we've got this 1 and this 1, that's the only 1 that can be there, so that's a 3. This is going to be 9 and 6, because 15 can either be 9 and 6 or 8 and 7. There's an 8 and 7 there. 9 and 6, this is 2 and 5. So 7 and 4 is down here. 4 cannot be in that one, so that's a 4 there. That's a 7. So this is going to be 9 and 6. This will also be 9 and 6. So just to help us out a bit, 9 and 6. So we've got 2 11s. So this is going to be 2 and 5. 2 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Could have done that. 5, 6. Should have known that because that's 8, 9, 9. So that's 9 and 6. That's 2 and 5. 2 and 4. So that's 2 and 5 there. 8 and 9. 7 and 4, so that can be 6 and 1 or 2 and 5. That's 9 and 6. So if I take 14 less 4, that's 15, 35, so that's 10. Excuse me. Okay, so 9 and 6. So 9 can be here, here, or here. So this can't be 6 and 7. So this is 9 and 6 here. 5 and 4. One of those. So, because that's 9 and 8, that's either 2 or 1. Okay. Just going around the board at the present time seeing. So this is 5 and 7. 1 and 3. 2, 4, 6. So that's a 6, 4, and 2. So the reason that I come up with that is 7, 9 and 8 can't be the numbers that can't be in there. And for 12 it's 8 and 4, 9 and 3. So those two are out, and 5 and 7. So that's still 5 and 7. Okay. Remember this, if this is 5 and 7 and this is 5 and 2, that's got to be a 5 and that's got to be a 2. And we've got 2 11s. So 4 and 7 and 8 and 3. Because this is 5 and 7, 5 can't be there, 5 can't be there, so that takes a 5 out, so that's a 2 and that's a 4. 9 and 6. So we've got 6 and 7 can be swapped around. Why did I say that that couldn't be a case? So 6 and 7 can be swapped around. Unlikely, because if I did this the other way, it's unlikely, but it's still possible. So what do we got down here? We've got 1, 2, so 3. It has to be in one of these two here. 4 is there. 5 could be in one of these 3. 6 and 7 can be in one of those 3. Okay. 9 and 6. 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't know. 9 and 6. So we know that this is 4 and 7, so this is 8 and 3 because of that 4 there. So 8 and 3. So net makes that 3 and 1. So 1 has to be there because 1 plus 10 would be the 11, and there's no 10 on the board. So 1. This is 4 and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 3. So 9's out, 5 and 8 is there, and 7 and 6. So if that's 5, that would be a 4. If that's 7, that would be a 2. So that they both make sense. Okay, 9 and 6, 2 and 5. 6, 7, 4, 1. So 2, 4 there. So 4 and 7 are there, which we knew. Okay. So 6 can be down this column here, and 6 can be there. So that's 5 and 6. 5 and 2. 2 is there, or there. So I can't make that decision. 8 and 9, can't do anything about that. Do know that 8 is in that box. Do know that 9 is in that box, which leaves us the 1 and 6 or 2 and 5. Okay, going around the board. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So that means that that can't be, if that's 6 and 8 along here, this can't be 6 and 8. So what we know is that because of the 9, that's a 5 and that's a 9. Remember, that's a 9 and that's a 6. Okay, because of the 8 there, in this column, 8 is there. So that's going to be 1 and 3. That'll be a 6. 1 and 3, 2 and 5. Okay, nothing there. So what have we got? 1, 3, 4. So this is still 7 and 5. Just don't know anything about it. 8 and 2. So where's the 2 go? If that's a 2, that's the 2 there. So This has got a 7, and remember this is 7 and 5, so that's got to be a 7, and that's a 5. 1 and 3, 2, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's 7 there. 6, 7. So 7's down that column. 9 and 6. 5 and 7. 7 and 2. So we've said that that's a 2 there, so that can't be a 7. So that's a 7. And remember, I said that was unlikely. Interesting. So 5 and 4. Okay, so 4, remember this is 4 and 7 here. 8, 9, because that's 2 and 4. Yeah, so 4 and 7, so that's a 7 because of that 4 there, and that makes that a 4. Okay. So 1 will be down this column here, so it's either there or there. 2 is in this column here, so it's either there or there. 3 is in this column here, and that is there, because that's 3 and 1, so that's a 3. Okay. 9 and 6. So 9 and 6 is across there for those two. 1, 2. 2 is still in the picture. So this cannot be a 2. Because if that's a 2, that adds up to 15 left. 6 and 8 are out, so that's not a 2. That's a 2 there. And what that's done is that's told me that's a 2 and a 5. Okay. So that is 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 and that's 7. So this leaves this as 1 and 9. So because of that 9 there, that's a 9 and that's a 1. By the way, that was 1 and 3, so that makes sense. That is a 9 and 6. So here is 2 and 5. 9 is somewhere there, which it goes off with the 8. 8 is somewhere there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 8, because that's going to be 8, 9, 9, 1. Okay. So 1 is still in this column. 2 and 4, so that's got to be 2 and 5, because that's a 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? 3. Okay, so this is 5 and this is 1. Okay, so 3 and 7 can do that. 3 and 7. 7 and 4. 4 and 2. Still 6 and 5, so 6 and 5. 5 and 2. 1 and 3. There we go. We just solved that Killer Sudoku without any notes, because that's how I do them, and also did it in just over 14 minutes. Alright, pretty happy with how that went. Wasn't anything too difficult in terms of it. Let me know in the comments what you saw before me. I'd appreciate that, and have a great day. Bye for now.